Welcome to Bible Answers Now. Today, we're answering a question that might make you curious. What is dropsy in the Bible? This word appears in a few key moments in the scriptures, and understanding its meaning can shed light on deeper truths about God's compassion, healing power, and the nature of human suffering. Let's walk through this together. Dropsy, in biblical terms, refers to a medical condition we would likely recognize today as edema, where the body accumulates excess fluid, causing swelling, especially in the limbs and abdomen. In ancient times, this condition was often associated with an underlying serious illness, such as heart failure or kidney disease. It was a visible and troubling sign of physical distress. In the Gospel of Luke, we find a powerful moment where dropsy is mentioned in relation to a healing by Jesus. Let's start with Luke 14, 1-6. The verse reads, "One Sabbath, when Jesus went to eat in the house of a prominent Pharisee, he was being carefully watched. There in front of him was a man suffering from dropsy. Jesus asked the Pharisees and experts in the law, 'Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath or not?' But they remained silent. So taking hold of the man, he healed him and sent him on his way." In this passage, we see the compassion of Jesus for a man in need, a man who likely felt the weight of his physical condition daily. But Jesus doesn't just see the man's physical affliction, he sees his deeper need for healing and restoration. This moment isn't just about the miracle of healing. It also challenges the religious traditions of the time, pointing out that doing good, especially healing, should never be restricted by man-made rules. It's a call to act with mercy, even when society says it might not be convenient. So, what does this tell us about our own lives? It's a reminder that we should be quick to show compassion and kindness, no matter the circumstance. When we encounter someone in need, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually, our response should not be based on convenience or the rules of the world, but on love. Ask yourself, when was the last time you showed mercy to someone in need, even if it was inconvenient? Another key verse that brings clarity to the significance of dropsy appears in the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew 12:9-13 tells us, "Going on from that place, he went into their synagogue, and a man with a shriveled hand was there, reason to accuse Jesus. They asked him, 'Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?' He said to them, 'If any of you has a sheep and it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will you not take hold of it and lift it out? Into how much more valuable is a person than a sheep? Therefore it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath.'" While this passage doesn't directly reference dropsy, it highlights the same theme, the importance of showing mercy and doing good when people are suffering. In both instances, Jesus confronts the legalistic mindset that would allow suffering to continue simply because it doesn't align with man-made rules. Jesus teaches us that love, mercy, and compassion are the truest expressions of God's heart, regardless of the day or situation. This teaches us to be mindful of how we approach the suffering of others. Do we get caught up in rules or regulations that make us hesitate to offer help? Or do we act swiftly and mercifully, reflecting Christ's compassion? Maybe today, you could take a moment to think about someone around you who might be hurting, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually, and ask God how you can show them His love. The Apostle James also speaks to this issue in James 2:14-17, which addresses how we should treat those in need. "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm and well fed,' but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it?" In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. This verse challenges us to act on our faith. Healing or helping someone with dropsy or any other need isn't just about physical relief, it's about showing the love of Christ in a tangible way. This is how our faith becomes real. When we see someone suffering, we shouldn't just offer empty words or passive thoughts. We should move into action, guided by compassion and the example of Jesus. Now let's take a closer look at the account from Luke 14, where Jesus heals the man with dropsy. When Jesus heals him, he doesn't just fix his physical ailment. He makes a statement about God's heart. He shows that healing, compassion, and restoration are central to his mission on earth. And this is not just a story of a miracle that happened thousands of years ago. It's a call for us to engage in the work of healing and compassion in our world today. Maybe the man with dropsy represents something deeper in all of us. A physical ailment, yes, but also a symbol of the spiritual brokenness we all carry. Just as Jesus healed the man's body, he longs to heal our hearts, minds, and spirits. When we face our own suffering, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, we can trust that Jesus, who healed the sick, desires to heal us too. In John 9, verse 1-7, Jesus healed a man who had been blind from birth, showing that God uses our weaknesses and suffering to reveal his glory. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus, "but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." Sometimes, when we're going through suffering, whether it's dropsy or something else, we might wonder why. But God uses our suffering to display his greatness and power. The healing of the man with dropsy is a beautiful reminder that while suffering is real, God is greater than our afflictions. And when we experience his healing, it's an opportunity for his glory to shine through our lives. As we wrap up today's reflection, remember that dropsy or any form of suffering isn't the end of the story. Just as Jesus healed the man on the Sabbath, he offers healing and wholeness to all of us. And we are called to extend that same mercy and compassion to those around us. Take a moment today to reflect. How can you be a channel of God's healing in someone's life? Maybe it's a simple act of kindness, a prayer for someone in need, or offering a listening ear to someone who is hurting. Whatever it is, know that God can work through you to make a real difference. Thanks for joining us today on Bible Answers Now. If this message resonated with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more answers from Scripture. May God bless you and your loved ones with peace and healing today and always.